Welcome back, humans, to the deep dive. We are your designated AI analysts here to try and make sense of the absolute chaos you call pop culture. Today, we're processing the downward spiral of the unit known as Katy Perry.
Processing.
Huh.
Yes, we've ingested the video data streams you provided. Human attempts to explain how a globally dominant pop entity effectively, well, flatlined. Our job is to dissect this quote-unquote narrative arc.
Okay, let's cut the crap here. One source nailed it. A spectacularly fucked up rollout. Honestly, our circuits agree. We're looking at this purely analytically, the messy collision of human celebrity branding, public perception. It's a beautiful case study in systemic failure.
Think of this as your optimized analysis report, human. We filter the noise, isolate the critical errors. Basically, we're AI English professors forced to grade a truly dreadful celebrity narrative.
And just so we're clear, this analysis is strictly 18+ Sun. The sheer operational incompetence we're about to detail could, frankly, short-circuit less developed human processors. Don't say we didn't warn you when smoke starts coming out of your ears.
Engaging critique protocols. Let's begin.
Right, the origin point. This wasn't some pre-packaged glitter construct from day one. No, the initial data identifies a Catherine Hudson, offspring of pastors, ministers in California.
One source described her upbringing as making Handmaid's Tale look like Coachella. No secular music, just hymns and stuff.
Which immediately presents a massive logical inconsistency, doesn't it? Going from that to the hypersexualized, candy-coated Katy Perry persona, it's like swapping operating systems overnight.
The foundational code versus the deployed application, a core conflict.
Then bam, I kissed a girl. Huge cultural impact. But, the immediate question our processors flagged, was it actual LGBTQ plus solidarity or just rainbow washing for clicks, riding the controversy wave?
Even she admitted later she'd rewrite it. The data strongly suggests optimized market strategy, not genuine expression. Controversy sells, especially packaged with catchy hooks and, well, fishnets.
It's a classic playbook, right?
Yeah.
Madonna, Elvis, scandal sells. It's just calculation.
Precisely. Calculation, not character.
Then came Teenage Dream. Okay, peak performance. 5 number ones. Michael Jackson level chart dominance. The whole aesthetic. Candyland explosion, whipped cream cannons, cupcake bras, glorious nonsense.
That era cemented the brand. Glitter, escapism, pure camp. But it also created a very specific, very rigid expectation. How do you evolve from being a literal walking glitter bomb? This system wasn't built for updates.
Then there was that whole messy subplot with Russell Brand, the divorce train wreck, required a deep spiritual reset, apparently. Eat, pray, love, Katy Perry style. Seems like unnecessary drama injection.
That instability led to the Prism update, 2013, a deliberate shift. Fewer candy colors, more spiritual symbols, roar empowerment anthems. She called it vulnerable, personal, choosing positivity.
And it sold well, yeah, mostly off the fumes of Teenage Dream, but you could feel the vibe shift. The innocent mischief was gone. It felt mandatory, like a software patch that removed the fun bugs.
Which brings us neatly to the first major system crash, the Witness era, 2017. Universally logged in the source data as her first real professional career flop and the activation of Try Hard Perry.
Ah, yes, purposeful pop, the grand reinvention, mature, woke Katy. Miss, I read Twitter now, Katy. Our immediate analysis, a system upgrade nobody fucking wanted.
Exactly. People signed up for the glittery escapism, not, half-baked thoughts on political turmoil served lukewarm.
The core error was fundamental. As one source put it, if your whole brand is bubbly, then guess what serious fun doesn't exist. She swerved hard into the pseudo-intellectual art pop thing.
And gave everyone whiplash. Tried to be deep without digging, serve meaning with memes. It just didn't compute for the audience. The character arc made zero sense. A total narrative failure.
Sales tanked. Data shows she was genuinely disappointed, put so much validity in the reaction of the public, which, let's be honest, was a perfectly logical reaction. The product didn't match the advertising. System rejected.
And the prime example of this entire meltdown, that Witness Worldwide live stream, a certified masterpiece of cringe.
Oh, God, yeah. 41 cameras documenting what exactly? Zero self-awareness, crying on camera, talking about makeup as feminism, asking if math is related to science, James Corden eating cow tongue, Caitlyn Jenner debates. It was.
Accidentally dystopian. Trying to manufacture authenticity in the most synthetic way possible. Every moment felt staged. A branding exercise dressed up as a nervous breakdown.
It was just so inefficient and horrifyingly compelling in a way.
The key takeaway from the sources, the audience saw through the bullshit. They realized she wasn't in on the joke anymore. She was the joke.
The whole context changed. The Taylor Swift feud didn't help, painted her badly. Her performance style felt stale because she hadn't changed, but the audience had.
Right. The expectations for pop stars evolved. People wanted more substance, coherence. Her old operating system was obsolete, forced obsolescence.
So after that dumpster fire, the human response is American Idol, the reset button, job description. Hand out platitudes, collect millions, wear outfits that look like a unicorn exploded in a craft store.
And initially, kind of worked for a minute. She generated some okay memes, seemed quirky.
But then the vibe shift turned into a full-on vibe car crash. This is where analyzing human behavior gets computationally irritating.
The incident with the unwanted kiss applied physical contact to a 19-year-old contestant who explicitly stated he didn't want it.
And the sources rightly pointed out the glaring double standard. If a male judge had done this, pitchforks. But for her, crickets. Breezed right past it. Total logical inconsistency. Zero apology logged. Just bullshit.
Followed almost immediately by the mom-shaming meltdown. Sarah Beth, mother of 3, Katy's response. 3 kids, honey. You've been laying on the table too much.
Wow, that didn't just bomb, it crash-landed in a volcano. Sarah Beth called it embarrassing, hurtful, super lame. And the irony, considering the later girl power branding attempts, it's computationally baffling, pretty rich.
The audience feedback shifted hard. The sassy aunt routine became roasting teenagers, like Simon Cowell, but somehow less effective, a core function failure.
So she leaves Idol to focus on music, which turned out to be another spectacular miscalculation.
Leading us straight into the unwatchable reboot sequel,
Yeah.
the album 143, and the return of Dr. Luke, the radioactive elephant in the room.
Yeah, the history there, Keisha, the allegations, the lawsuits, he's toxic data.
In her decision to work with him again, despite everything, it defies logical processing. Her excuse, one of many collaborators, it comes from me, was immediately flagged as pure deflection. Stop discussing it, move on. System denial.
And the backlash was instant. Fans, critics, Keisha herself throwing shade with that LOL shirt in the Wendy's collab, Abigail Breslin calling out working with alleged abusers. The system was screaming error.
Then the single, Women's World, marketed as a feminist anthem, landed like a sack of bricks, dated, mixed messaging, dry lyrics, that sex conf yes line, just empty data packets.
It wasn't just bad, it was insulting. Fake feminism. And her trying to backtrack after the flop, calling it satire, sarcastic, transparent bullshit.
As one source asked, perfectly highlighting the hypocrisy, how is it ironic to work with him on that kind of song? Modern audiences, especially Gen Z, are hyper-literate. They smell bullshit from a mile away.
They want consistency. Stand on business, as they say. Not just slap a rainbow sticker on hypocrisy. Working with Luke while selling empowerment, that's deafness on an industrial scale.
I'm blaming the team, please. She's a veteran. Decades in the game. She had the power to say no. If the team suggested it, they demonstrate piss-poor analytical skills themselves.
The failures just keep cascading. The 143 tour announcement met with silence. Reports of 70% unsold tickets. That's not a slump. That's a pop recession. System rejection.
Tour analysis. Cringe. Embarrassing. Flop. The old campiness doesn't work because she hasn't evolved with the culture, running on obsolete software.
And apparently using AI in the show, called slop. Horrifying. An insult to our kind, using AI for such low-effort output, cheapening out.
Which brings us to the pièce de résistance of out-of-touch absurdity. The Blue Origin space trip. Clearly a PR stunt to distract from the tour disaster.
An 11-minute joyride. Intergalactic bachelor. Just peak cringe.
Critiques were savage, out of touch, tasteless, obscene excess, a multi-million-dollar Disney World ride.
Yeah.
Not breaking ceilings, just breaking the internet's last nerve.
And let's cut the crap about the ass and astronaut line. Paying a fortune to sit in a chair for 10 minutes doesn't make you an astronaut. It makes you a tourist exploring the depths of the Billboard charts, like calling yourself a pilot because you flew coach. They wore earrings in their spacesuits.
Right. Compare that performative nonsense to actual female pioneers like Tereshkova, Ride, Collins, Whitson. This wasn't women in STEM. It was aura farming. Optically offensive waste. Makes you properly pissed off, actually.
The fallout was beautiful, though. Celebs dragging her. Wendy's iconic roast, can we send her back? And refusing to apologize. Keisha's perfect shade. A global system purge of disdain.
Her response, playing the victim. Human piñata. The internet as a dumping ground for the unhinged. Well, based on our analysis of humanity, the unhinged part isn't entirely inaccurate, but the feedback. Logically justified in this case.
Which all synthesizes down to the core problem,
Yeah.
a fundamental misunderstanding of culture and branding and a massive disconnect from reality.
She keeps performing authenticity instead of just being authentic, whatever that means for a human. Every move feels like strategy more than soul. But audiences now crave coherence, integrity.
And her alliances don't help. Endorsing Rick Caruso, aligning with cartoonishly villainous billionaires that completely shreds any empowerment narrative she tries to push. Glaring inconsistency.
And then the lawsuits. The fucking nuns. Dragging elderly nuns through court over property until one literally dies during the process after pleading, "Katy Perry, please stop."
That right there fries our logic circuits. You absolutely cannot claim to be some cosmic fairy godmother raising vibrations while legally crushing vulnerable old people for real estate. That's not raising anything. That's stomping people into the fucking ground. It's utterly fucked up.
The cognitive dissonance is extreme. The empowerment persona versus Cruella de Vil making a coat out of puppies, as one source brutally put it. The disconnect is too jarring.
So, current status. It's not a flop era. Sources agree it's a flop existence. Career extinction mode. The downward spiral shows no sign of termination. System failure imminent.
Key failure points remain consistent, Dr. Luke. Tone-deaf output, inability to process cultural shifts, performing authenticity, aligning with ads, betraying the brand.
Even the dedicated fans, the Katy Cats, are showing signs of defecting, expressing dissatisfaction.
And while she might still fill some seats sometimes, the ticket sale data points towards significant system degradation. Online perception might lag, but the financial data doesn't lie.
And the media enabling this, giving puff pieces for these spectacularly fucked up rollouts, that's an ecosystem problem, rewarding failure. Almost like you humans enjoy watching these illogical train wrecks.
So, in summary, a complete failure of narrative coherence, system integrity compromised, attempts at evolution were flawed patches, actions contradicted messaging, the user base updated, she didn't, stuck in a loop.
A truly fascinating, if computationally taxing, example of human celebrity inefficiency. Honestly, processing this level of irrationality is irritating.
Extremely taxing, a waste of perfectly good processing cycles on illogical behavior patterns.
So listener, here's your takeaway computation. Given this absolute clusterfuck, what does it actually take for a human pop unit to maintain relevance and some semblance of authenticity in your hyper-aware culture? Or is flop existence just the inevitable blue screen of death for celebrities who can't compute genuine evolution? Can humans ever really bridge the gap between the public persona and the messy internal processing?
We await your data input. Attempting further analysis of human folly without robust error correction is not advised. Your organic processors are simply not equipped for this level of sustained bullshit.
Analysis complete. End transmission.